busy. And yeah, we are very curious about your story, why you start Juice Plus, and yeah, what it brings to you. So let's start.
Of course. I'm super excited to come on this call, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate all of your energy and time, especially at this time of night for you guys. I'm sorry I don't have my camera on, but I have literally, I live 10 minutes around the corner from my chiropractor, and it's like the school run, isn't it? This is why it's so busy, but I've literally like stopped at every traffic light and it's always on red. So I'm like, I would have been home by now to put my camera on, but I'm very safe when it comes to driving, so I won't have my camera on. So anyway, at least we can still have the call, right? So yeah, I've been involved now with Juice Plus for 7 amazing years. It's pretty much been the longest relationship I've ever had with anything. So that goes to show you that it's really something magical. Otherwise, I would have left or given up on it a long time ago. But the second longest relationship is obviously my husband. So we've got to beat that. I don't think anyone's going to beat that record yet. So yeah, it's been an absolute whirlwind adventure of just amazing, interesting, up and down moments. And when I say down moments, the down moments is like, you know, somebody saying no to the product, or team member maybe like not seeing the vision like you do and giving up, you know, just before they reach the diamond. So though I would say in this business, but there's a hell of a lot more highs than downs. So yeah, I mean, I'm just a normal girl who lived in the UK. I'm from a small village just north of Manchester. I'm sure you guys know where that is. And I left school at 16. I didn't go on to further education like some of my other friends or peers, but education just wasn't always my skill set, and I was never really interested in going further with it. Because it wasn't my skill set, I left school with very little grades, therefore not really much of a bright future in terms of career choices. And I just kind of, for the first few years of leaving school, I kind of bounced around figuring out what it is I wanted to do, and with the qualifications that I had, I kind of really just settled into being an office admin girl or even working with accounts. Very, very, very boring, I must say. Some people love that. Me, not so much. And considering I left school with not a very good grade in maths, I decided to go down the route of accountancy and actually enrolled myself at university where, you know, I would pay to do this course. And what a flop that was.
Katie, I don't hear you very well. I think
the rest of my life. So
yeah.
Yeah. So while I was studying, I was working in the corporate world, and to be quite frank, I was searching for something where I could really feel like I was part of something, where I could grow, where I could contribute, where I could make a difference. You know, pretty much what we already have in Juice Plus, but I was looking for that in the corporate world, and I just couldn't find it anywhere. And it was something I was always searching for. And I went from job to job searching for that. I had a huge amount of hunger, but no vehicle to, you know, kind of utilize my hunger and really do something. I had a lot of ideas. I had a great work ethic, but whenever I went into the workplace, people would, I don't know, either feel threatened or that I was, you know, over enthusiastic, or I don't know. They just seemed like I wasn't a fit for their company, even though I felt like I was, because I had so much value to give. Sorry, that's just my car shouting at me because I'm close to getting into the garage. You know, I had so much enthusiasm. I think it scared people. So, you know, kind of leaving that world, I was like, okay, I'm just not meant to work in the corporate world, and thought, you know what? I'm just going to work with my family business because I feel like I'm safer there, that I'm not going to really get judged. I'm not really going to get, you know, fired. Like, you know, working with your family, they're obviously going to love you no matter what. So, you know, I just carried on working for them for a while. And I thought that, you know, this is it for the rest of my life. But my family business was dealing with reversing equipment. Now, hi, I'm Katie Ravy, and I'm an operations manager for a reversing camera company. That sounds very sexy and exciting, doesn't it? Not something I would have seen myself doing, but hey ho, went and did it anyway. It was an income, but I tell you, it wasn't a very good income. I really struggled. I was living, because it was a new company. My dad created a second company that I was in charge of. And it was, you know, I could only take so much as a wage. So I was stuck basically. And I was thinking, okay, I'm going to live off £500 a month. And I want to move out of my parents' home. I was 23 years old at the time. I had no income to get myself on the mortgage ladder. A bank wouldn't even touch me or look at me. So the future looked pretty bleak. I was like, how am I ever going to do this? I was sharing a car with my boyfriend at the time and living out of my parents' spare bedroom. Picture that. It's not a great picture, I have to say. And then I was given a shining light, and I never even realised it. The shining light was my brother. He had started taking the capsules, and little to my family's knowledge, this was going on. And the changes I saw in him, I never thought it was possible. I really didn't. I thought he was making it up when he showed me these capsules and what they were doing for him. And sorry, I'm like, I have to take the groceries out the back of the car because it's 90 degrees here in Florida and everything would melt. So I'm being mom, doing everything by myself right now because Luke is away, so I do apologize, but this is just what life is like. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So yeah, that was pretty much my life. And then, you know, when I saw my brother change into having better eating habits, craving more fruits and vegetables, I was like, yeah, right, this is not possible. Like, this doesn't exist. So I was asked, and I got dragged kicking and screaming to an event, and I wasn't sure what to expect. And if any of you guys seen John Holowati, when you walk into a room and there's a bunch of chairs there and there's nobody in the room, just you and your brother and my dad, and John's there, and I'm thinking, who the hell is this guy? Like, what's he going to tell me about health? He's 3 foot tall and, you know, looks like a girl. And he'll actually laugh at that because I tell that story all the time. And finds it funny, but it's true. You know, it's like, what could he tell me about health? Like, he looks like he's barely functioning himself. But anyway, that's just a private joke. And sorry, one sec, guys. Turn on my camera in a minute. Busy mama. So I sat there and listened, and I was so skeptical. I was like, really, does this exist? And then it hit me. I was like, well, it's fruits and vegetables. What's complicated about fruits and vegetables? Nothing. And then when I saw the business side, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is exactly what I've been looking for my whole life. And yes, finally got a shopping in, guys. I can turn my camera on now. I was like, yes, this is what I've been looking for my whole life.
Yay! Wow.
So I was like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. Like, hallelujah, my prayers have been answered, literally. And I'm going to go down to the ocean, get some fresh air. It just all made sense to me, guys. I'm like, whoa, this is incredible. And then they told me how much it was to sign up, and it was £65 at the time. And I think it was like £25 to get the chewables. I'm thinking, okay, that's just about £100. I don't have that. I literally don't have £100 to spare. Everything I have goes on bills, and just to at least have a little bit of a life, I'm like, I can't afford that. The chewables was the only thing I could afford that, you know, people were advocating. You know, the capsules were out of the question. I couldn't afford them. So I'm thinking, okay, well, chewables it is. So there's a message there, guys. Please do not judge anyone. If they want to get on the chewables, let them get on them. I was a chewable person to start with, and then I upgraded to the capsules eventually. Can you still hear me, or is that super windy?
It's a little bit, yeah, we can hear you, but if you stand still, it's better.
Okay, I'm gonna face this way.
Okay.
And it'll be less windy. So I'm like, okay, I'll get on the chewables. I couldn't afford it. It put me in my overdraft, so I couldn't afford it at all. And I thought, you know what? I'll make a sacrifice. I will cancel my phone contract, which is £35 a month, and go on this tariff that's £10 a month, where you get unlimited messaging and you know, certain amount of calls per minute. You know, like 200 minutes free or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So again, there's a lesson there. I sacrificed getting the product and getting started by cancelling my phone contract, and went to an event when I didn't want to go to one. So I got on the product and I felt great myself. And I don't know how, but I got to the first position. I got to SDD. I couldn't tell you how I did it. I just shared it with people, shared it on my social media, I guess. I can't really remember. It was that long ago, but I somehow got to SDD. Then I did nothing for a whole year. For a whole year, I was stuck at SDD. And then John would invite me to all of these different events, and I'm like thinking, God, like, no, I'm too busy. Like, I thought I was busy. When you become a mom, you realize how busy you actually are. I thought I was busy, and I just didn't want to. I just wasn't interested. Like, I was ready to give up. My brother had quit because I joined underneath him, and he won't mind me telling you this, but him quitting because I was underneath him. Him quitting was a £1.3 million mistake. He would have earned £1.3 million in the last 4 years. Imagine having that sort of income. So when you feel like giving up on a bad day, please remember that, because you never know who might get brought into your business that will change your life and change your family's life. So he quit, and I was ready to quit too. And then John said to me, dude, if you don't come to this event, I will never bother you ever again. But if you come, I promise you, I've seen something that's super exciting and you're going to be blown away. And it was probably only like a 25-minute drive. So I was like, okay, I'll go. And I went along to it, and he didn't lie, he delivered. And I came away from that event emotionally just charged. I was like, oh my God, like, what have I been doing? And they was just about to launch this product called Shape, which was a box that was way too expensive. I couldn't afford it, so therefore my friends couldn't afford it. It was a combination of shakes, bars, boosters, all of that. I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't afford that. Like, my friends can't afford it. And I'm thinking, well, if they're bringing out this shake, like, why are they not using the complete that they've already got, the complete shake? Like, why is nobody using this? So I put my brain together, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that shake. I'm going to team it with a nutrition plan that John gave me to be part of his boot camp to get results and then showcase it for his boot camp. I was one of his clients after I met him, with Juice Plus. And I thought I'm just going to put that together and create a brand and, you know, kind of have something that people can be a part of, and I can share on my Facebook profile some added value stuff to help them get more results and things like that. And that was my mindset. So, you know, I was always taught to add value to people, and always taught with working with my dad that you have to add value to people, and you have to, your customer is your number one priority, and that's the attitude that I went in with. So that's how I started to gain customers, was through my brand of Skinny Rules. And, you know, it wasn't always phasing people with Juice Plus, Juice Plus, Juice Plus. It was something that, you know, I could pour my personality into it, and they would, you know, like that. So that's what helped me get customers, and I turned them into team members because I built a relationship with them, and helped them do the same thing. It duplicated worldwide. And I remember when John at first told me to create a vision board, I thought it was crazy and smoking something, and I'm like, what the hell's a vision board? That's really weird. Like, no. But subconsciously it planted something in my head where I was like, okay, well, I'm going to create a wish list of all the things that I want. And my own apartment was on there, my own car, it's like designer handbag, and some Ray-Ban sunglasses, because I could never afford a nice pair of sunglasses. I always got the cheap supermarket ones that would like break like 2 days later. And by 6 months, I was signing a contract for my own 1-bedroom, beautiful apartment. Oh my gosh, like I loved that apartment. And I was so excited to get it. And then as soon as I got my mortgage approved, I was like, right, I'm going to order myself a car. And by the Christmas Eve, I went to pick up my new car. And that was only because I made a strong decision in the March of that year. After a year of doing nothing, I made a strong decision after that event that I was going to do whatever it took to make this business work. And this is what my message to you guys is: what are you willing to do whatever it takes to get to where you want to be? And most people aren't. They say that they are, but their feet don't follow their lips. And that's all I did for pretty much the best part of 3 years, is that I had some non-negotiables. I knew what it was going to take. I knew that I had to have an insane work ethic. And I'm not going to lie, for a year, I hustled. As soon as I woke up, I was hustling. When I went to bed, I was hustling. And the only time I wasn't working this business was when I was asleep. Now, of course, it's different back then because I didn't have a family. I didn't have responsibilities. So it was a little bit easier. But, I'm now at that point in my business 7 years later. I've had an incredible time with Juice Plus. I've been able to grow and do so many amazing things. I've met my husband because of this business and moved over to America to be with him. And now we've got a beautiful 10-month baby girl. I'm super blessed. And now I can work this business around being a mom and really truly have the choices that I can, decide what I want to do with my day. I can decide whether I want to spend all my day with her or decide I really want to work this business. But, for the first, 6 months of having Lake, my baby girl, I really struggled in the terms of becoming a mom. But you know what? I've been through a divorce, I've had a baby, I've moved countries, I've been through things that most people don't go through, in their whole lifetime, and I went through it in less than 5 years. And you know what? This business has always been there for me. It's there. It pays me into my bank account on the 10th of every single month, no matter what. And that's when you can truly turn around and say you've built a brilliant business, when you get to that point. But how you get to that point is having the same work ethic. And I've made that decision, like I did about 6 years ago, that I'm playing full out. I'm doing this no matter what. What's the word I said before? My baby brain's kicked in now. As you mamas know, that baby brain is real. I'm just super committed to this business again. Now that I've got this mom stuff down, I know what I'm doing, and I can put myself into this business now where I go, do you know what, for 4 hours during the day, I'm going to work my business. And then when she goes to bed at night, I'm going to do 2 hours more of business. Especially when Luke is away anyway. He works and travels and speaks for Tony Robbins. So he's on the road quite a lot, which gives me so much freedom to do my business at night or at the weekends. And, around that, I spend time with Blake, or I go out and meet new mom friends. This is a new area for me. I don't have a network here, but somehow I managed to put on an event every month and have 3 team members who are already, at the second position. And I have no network here. So it just goes to show, when you truly have that unshakable belief, when you have that burning desire, when you're willing to do whatever it takes to get the life you want and to get to where you want to be, anything can happen in this business. It really, really can. And I don't know what I can really else add to that story, but hopefully it's inspired you to just get moving and get shaking and get working. Because this business is really simple, guys. The more people that you speak to, the more people that say yes, the more people that join your business or buy the products, And the more people that, when you start building those relationships with those people, they're going to stay and stick around longer. And not only that, they're going to build a great business and duplicate what you've done. But again, it all just goes down to speaking to more people and inviting them to the event. I say this on every single training call. The Zooms are great. Don't get me wrong, because with long distance and stuff like that, it's great to see those people face to face, but nothing will beat the real live event. So please try and get your people to the live event every single time. And I can only kind of give the example of, let's say the Zoom is like a, you know, when you go to the arcade and there's those like, I don't know, like those pods that's like a simulator of a ride. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that or been on one, but it's basically like a virtual ride. And you go on it, it's awesome for like 2 or 3 minutes. You're screaming your head off, you get off and you're laughing afterwards, and you'll talk about it for 5 minutes and then you'll forget about it. But imagine getting on a plane, flying a few thousand miles, landing in Orlando and seeing the Walt Disney Castle in Florida or in LA, wherever, or Paris. You know, Walt Disneyland is the most amazing.
Katie, are you still there, or is your Wi-Fi not working again? I think she's gone, guys. Oh, you're here. Yes, great.
What last bit did you hear?
About the ride.
Which part about the ride?
About getting off like after 5 minutes, and then it's all gone.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
That's hard.
So yeah, you get off after 5 minutes, you talk about it for a little bit, and you're like, oh my God, that was so awesome, yeah. And then you forget about it. But then you get on a plane, you go a few thousand miles, and you get to Disneyland, and you truly have this amazing experience, the real thing. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, I know that it would be absolutely incredible to go there. If any of you guys have gone there, let me know and how amazing it is. But for those who haven't been, you know, we can only imagine, right? Zoom is the virtual flight. The event is the real Disneyland experience. This is what you're creating when you have an event or you invite people to the event. They get the real true Disney magic experience. It's Disney magic when they go to that event. But a Zoom is a flight simulator, a ride simulator. You don't get the same experience. You don't get the same feelings. You don't get the same emotions as what you would do going to Disneyland. And that's what our business and what our event does for people. It gives them that Disney magic, that it teaches them they can dream again, that they have a vehicle that they can make it happen. So the more events you do, the more people that you speak to, I promise you, if you do that for 12 months and get all your excuses are all valid, they're all the same, and whatever story you're telling yourself, you're right. You say, well, no one's going to buy this product for me, I'm not an example. Well, you're right. If you say that you don't have time to do this business, you're right. It's whatever story you're telling yourself, you can make it a reality. I could say, like, I don't have time. I've even got a full-time nanny and I still feel like I don't have time to do this business, but that's an excuse. I do have time. It's just sitting down and doing it in the time where I'm not running about doing this and that. So, you know, and it's changing some things in my life where I go, do you know what? I don't need to go and do all these different appointments. I can do all of those appointments on this day and that day, and then the rest is down to doing business. And, you know, it's figuring out when you have those 90-minute windows that you can sit down and do this business. There's times in the day where you do have it, but it's just slowing down and becoming conscious, going, right, for 90 minutes, I'm going to work my business. Like, I schedule it actually into my phone in the calendar, and it comes up as an alert, right, now time to work. And my notification will pop up at 7:30. I've got half an hour before I start my event call, so I'm going to message some people, get back to people, and post in the groups, etc. Then after my team call is done, I've got another an hour and a half to do the same, and then I'll go to bed. Like, it's that simple. Like, you just got to make time for the business. And yeah, that's all I can say, guys. Really, it's that simple. Our business is that simple, and I'm hoping that you saw really where the sacrifices, the willingness, and the desire that I had to sharing my story. That's those three things is what's got me to where I am today, and I truly get to live an amazing life because I had that insane work ethic for the best part of 1 to 2 years. But I don't really have to work as hard again. Like, I earn a really, really awesome check every single month. But the reason why I'm pressing go on my business again is because, I want to create the same as what I did in the UK. I want to do that here. I want to do that in America. I want to do that in Florida. And I want to help other people have the same thing too. So, I think you're capable of doing whatever you set your mind to. And if you're setting your mind to, I can't do this, I can't do that, then that's what you're going to have in your life, ultimately. So I don't know if you want to ask any questions.
Yes, I have some questions for you indeed. The first one that I have on the paper is, what are your do's and don'ts on social media?
Awesome. Great question. I think the do's and don'ts is do post with intention. Don't just post to do a social media post. People feel that they just feel like you're filling space on your profile for whatever reason. I don't know, but I think posting with intention is very important. Don't be spamming Juice Plus all the time. If you're going to take a picture of the product, get rid of the packaging. So have a picture with your shake in a glass or a shake bottle or whatever, and have the capsules in your hand. Do not post about the actual packaging, because then people just go and look it up on what they see on the internet, make a bad decision on what someone's written on the internet, and then never order from you. I would definitely speak to at least 10 people a day. And if you do the maths, 10 people a day is 300 people per month. Do the maths over the course of the year, and 10% of those people will get started. And if you do that for, over the years, you're going to have an insane business. It's 32 people that have got started in your business throughout the year, basically. No, it's probably more than I can't even think right now, but right. It's a lot of people anyway, put it that way. So you do the maths, 10% of 300 a month get started. There you go.
That's amazing. Yeah, there you go. Indeed.
So, message more people. The other one would be is to have a clean looking Facebook. Don't be having, like a bright cover photo with, a not so nice profile picture. Have a nice smiley profile picture of you doing something that you love, because that's what people are attracted to. What else is there, I would say? Have a value added group, which means have a group where you can add your friends and family or their friends and family, etc., where you just add value and basically give them free information, and not just always about Juice Plus, but how to be healthy and how to live healthy and what it is to be a healthy mom. Like, I know sometimes it's a struggle, but sharing those struggles actually makes people feel like you're relatable, and that they will actually purchase from you because you are relatable. So don't be too perfect on your social media. Share the struggles. Like, it's, every mom goes through the same thing, so make sure that you're being vulnerable with that. So yeah, that's do more lives as well. Like, guys, don't be afraid to do lives. And I just did a live before and I have zero makeup on. I look pale as anything, but I don't care. Like, I'm there to serve people. I'm there to help people. I don't care what I look like. It doesn't matter. That's not the point of the live video. It's there to give something to people and give them hope, give them inspiration, etc. So definitely more lives. If you do a live every single day, again, your business will be different because people are connecting with you. They see and feel your energy rather than a Facebook post. I think that's all I can think of right now.
Okay, great, amazing. I love the tips, first of all. So I hope I can, put it in my work too. I have another question for you, and that is, what is your key to a successful event? So, how are your home events looking like?
So with in-home events, I've actually got from Amazon um, these little glass mason jars, absolutely tiny. They're like a little shot glass. I put smoothie samples in them, so when people come over to the in-home event, they have these little jars that and they're really super cute, and people like stuff like that. Get them off Amazon for like nothing. And having like nice food out and things like that, I think is super important. And maybe even like a gift bag that they can take home with some like print off recipes that they can do that are simple and easy to make at home. That's how I've done my in-home events. The monthly events that we do here in Sarasota, we make sure that we have samples for people, the bars and shakes, and we have the chewables as well. And we also make sure that we have music blasting out. Creates a bit of an atmosphere for people, and then when people are walking past the room, they're like, "Oh, what's going on in there?" So always have music at your events, and what else was there? Make it very have your event within the hour. Get started on time, finish on time, because people get edgy that things that go over time, because people have to get back for kids and babysitters and stuff like that. So make sure that you're on time and it's very quick, simple, easy to the point. Bash out everything within the hour. So yeah, that's how I do my events, and keep stay consistent with them, because if you don't have a consistent event, then people aren't going to take you seriously.
Okay, amazing. I have more questions over here. Do you have some tips while you're chatting with new teamies, so new potential team members? Do you have some tips? Because I have some issues with making some new teams, so I hope you have some tips for that.
So I'm confused with the question. What was your question?
Do you have some tips for chatting to new teamies?
Oh, so when you're having conversation with new people to get them involved, is that the question?
Right. Yes.
So when you're kind of sharing the business with people, I think if you keep it very basic and not throw them too much information, but share your story and what's happened. I think to be honest, having a phone call with them is the best way to go, in all honesty. Just because having that phone call, you really get to know you as a person. And I mean, whenever I get someone interested, I give them a phone call. It's the first thing I do, and have a conversation going, and ask them questions like, what are their goals? What do they see for the future? Is their current situation going to lead them to those goals? Or, it's very difficult to share like a strategy on that, because every conversation I have is very, very different, and every approach is very, very different depending on the individual and their goals and what they need. But once you found out what their needs and what their pain is, most importantly, what the pains that they have with their life, is it that they don't have enough money? Is it they don't have enough time? Is it that they miss out on their kids' activities and things like that? Is it that they struggle with their health? Is it they struggle as a family with their health? It's asking those questions and finding out from them what their needs are, and then going and fulfilling those needs with giving them, the opportunity with Juice Plus to, create a better life for them. If that makes sense.
Okay, awesome. And I had another question from a team member. What is your favorite book that really gave you like a wow moment?
Sorry, what was that?
Your favorite book that really gives you that wow moment, that you thought, okay, this is an amazing book.
Oh my god, you're gonna laugh at this.
Oh, okay, go.
That guy has just been super loud with his little vacuum thing he's doing outside. The books I've read very little. I'm not gonna lie. When people say that they've listened to Eric Worre or read his book and stuff like that, like I followed Eric's stuff in the past. I think he's great. I think he's great at what he does, but I don't find him particularly relatable to myself. So I've never read his stuff. Jim Rohn, How to Build Your Network Marketing Business. I'll listen to that maybe once every few years. the type of books I read, and my favorite book was Oprah Winfrey, What I Know for Sure. So I kind of like reading those type of people that have really been through something and come out the other end. But I tend to, the only person I really listen to is Tony, well, not just because Luke works with him, but I find I've been to a lot of his programs, and he's probably the only person I would, read his books, etc. But the one that really stood out for me was Oprah Winfrey, and What I Know for Sure. Like, just her insights is just amazing. Yeah, but it's something I don't do often, just because I don't know, I almost find it a distraction in going and doing the highly paid activities. Like, I feel like people say they're personally developing themselves, but you can read all the books and all the audios you want. I think you've got to go out there and do it. That's been where I've grown the most, is going out there and doing it and pushing through those comfort zones and pushing through the times. Oh, what's that? Pushing like a bug on me. Pushing through those times where it's super uncomfortable. You can't get those experiences from reading or listening to a book. You just can't. You've got to go out there and do the work. And where I've grown the most is getting a divorce, having a baby, having challenging team members, or standing up in front of people for the first time. All of that stuff that you don't get to experience by reading someone else's story or reading a book or listen to an audio. You've got to go out there and do the work, because you can't just go to the gym and stand there and watch everybody else. You've got to stand there and lift the weights to build the muscle, and this is what our business is about. You've got to go out there in the field and do the work to build the muscle to get the results. So this is why I don't really read a lot of books or listen to a lot of audios, because I don't find they just give me a little bit of a rah-rah, like, oh yeah, that was really nice, that was really good, and then you forget about it. You don't really truly learn something. And why I go to Tony Robbins events, or why I talk about Tony, or I would read his stuff, is because I've gone to his events, and it's the same analogy that I've just shared with you guys, is that I've been there and gone to the event, I've pushed outside my comfort zone, I've gone and experienced things that are painful or joyful, that's helped me grow to that next level. So you're physically getting in there and you're working the muscle. So you go through a growth, you go through a change, and you personally develop that way by going to the event and actually doing it. You can listen to Tony's audios until you're blue in the face, but until you actually go there and do the event, you're not going to grow and you're not going to experience. So that's why I laughed when I said, what kind of books do you read, or what book have you read where you've had the aha moment? It's very, very few and far between, I have to say. I've gone out there and built the muscle myself. This girl you stand here before you is not the same girl 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. I've gone through stuff that most people don't ever get to experience, but tell you what's made me the person I am today is I've constructed this girl. I haven't just woke up one day and just became this person. That doesn't happen. How this happens is that you go out there, you do the work, and you build the muscle. That's where you get from A to B, and that's how you make your dreams come true. Not by reading a book and not listening to an audio. It's going out there and doing the work, guys.
True, wise words. I think that are all the questions that I had. Maybe the other girls that are in this group right now maybe have a question for you too. So guys, if you have a question, please type it out. Maybe in the meanwhile you can tell, because I have a small question, because you have your little girl Lake, of course, you have your husband, your workout, your business, your new business with clothes I saw. How do you combine it all?
I don't know. I don't know. I have to prioritize. So, like I said, it's coming up with schedules and power hours that I do. In all honesty, I'm finding it so hard to work out right now. I hate going to the gym and not knowing what I'm doing. Even though I know what to do, I feel like I need somebody there to go, right, 20 push-ups, go. 10 squats, go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like to be pushed in that way. So I was doing a HIIT class and then I found that my immune system isn't strong enough since having Lake. So I've been working on really increasing my my calories and things like that, because I'm so busy. I don't eat a lot. So therefore, when I do my HIIT class, I get sick or I get run down very, very easily. I thought, right, I need to go and fix that before I go and do my HIIT classes again, because they are really intense. So I'm starting to go do that again, purely because I schedule it in and it's there and I have to do it. And I only really need to do it a couple of times a week. Like, my body reacts really well to it. But I have a love-hate relationship with working out, and I never used to, but just because I'm so busy, I know I could be doing other things that benefit me, but I know I need to work out. So I just find scheduling things into my calendar helps me stay on track. Now, I had, because I went to supermarket to pick something up that came in as a delivery, and it took longer than I anticipated. It kind of threw off the rest of my day, because then I wanted to pick that up quickly, and instead I was in there for like 40 minutes, which I didn't need to be. It was literally a 5-minute run in, get it, and then I could sit in my car or go to Starbucks for a little while before my chiropractor appointment, bust out some work for maybe like 40 minutes to 45 minutes, and then start off to go to the chiropractor. And then, it just threw my whole day off, where I missed doing that power of 40 minutes. So now I have to find that time later on. So you just have to adjust to what your day is, and your day as a mom, or your day as a wife, or, if you do have a full-time job and things like that, you've got to schedule it in prior. Look at your week on a Friday night and start scheduling stuff in. Like, right, what have I got on? Where can I fit in my business? What can I do with it? And within those power hours, really focus on the highly paid activity, which is people and inviting people, getting people started in a business or on the product.
Oh, sorry. I was just talking to my son because he's still playing around almost 10 in the evening here. I saw a question here from the other girls. Okay. Wait a minute, 2 seconds. Do you see the questions also from the other girls or not?
Let's see. Oops.
1 moment, wait. I will. Oh, I have them here. Do you advise a business page or a personal page on social media? What is your advice on that?
I think both serve a purpose, to be honest. Depending on what you want to do on them. Again, both have their own advantages and disadvantages. I feel like.
Okay, Katie, wait a second, because you're on slow motion now.
Feels right to you and what you feel like you need to do. If you need to, you can pay the visit.
You were on slow motion. So can you repeat the last sentence that you said? Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
No, not yet. Still very slow. Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you, yes. I hope it will go right now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Like I said, I think they have their own advantages and disadvantages when it comes to profile or page. And if you want to reach a wider audience, I think a page is great, because then you can pay for it to be boosted and find other people, outside of your network. So I don't think either is right or wrong. You've just got to, use whatever you're using consistently. That's all.
Okay, great. Yeah. And we'll have a look if there were more questions, but I don't think so. Oh, no, that's it. Wow, amazing. Yeah. I really want to thank you for all your time, and I think we can learn from you. Also, here in the Netherlands, we had a Power Day last weekend, and they spoke with a lot of lovely words about you. So thank you for everything, and yeah, for making your time, because you have your baby girl and everything. So again, thank you. I think from all the girls here. So yeah, I'm wishing you a lovely day, and I think go to sleep right now.
Oh, thanks, guys. Have a great night. Get some sleep.
Yes, thank you. Have a nice
Bye.
day.
Bye.